Welcome to Think Big for Africa podcast. On this podcast, we will bring you interesting conversations with local, national, and international African leaders from all walks of life, home and abroad. Leaders who are doing their bits to progress Africa's development. Conversation topics will range from education, science, health, leadership, politics, business, and many other global issues. Conversations about everything that concerns Africa's development. Africa has so many wonderful achievers worldwide, and this is exactly what we will bring to you on Think Big for Africa podcast. Stay tuned.
Hello, welcome to Think Big for Africa podcast. My name is Ekene Banye. I have a great young man who I met on LinkedIn, and I liked his profile and his story, and I want to bring him to you. He's an entrepreneur. In the tech space, but then I'm not sure he's actually a techie guy, okay? Because you can be in the tech space, but you are not a techie guy. So let's find out. His name is Ibrahim Bashir. Ibrahim, how are you?
Hello. Hi, Ekene. Nice to meet you.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Very good. Let me ask you the first question. Are you a techie guy?
That's a good question to start with. The answer is yes and no. I am not a techie person by background.
Yes.
But I have a lot of tech experience.
Myself is the same thing, because I work in banking and I did a lot of work with techie guys. So I understand the basics, and maybe I can say I have a little knowledge to see a techie product or service and to know what is possible. But the intricacies, I don't have a clue.
Okay.
So Ibrahim, like I was asking you before we started, you are in Lithuania, okay?
Yes.
So tell me this. Give me your background and tell me why you are in Lithuania and how things are going down there.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. So my background, I'll start from, I'm from Nigeria,
okay.
And I was born in a city called Zaria in Kaduna State, where I did my primary and part of my secondary school before moving to Lagos. Coincidentally, I went to 4 secondary schools. Just hopping.
Yeah.
And another fact, I didn't finish secondary school. So not I didn't finish, but it was more like I didn't finish from a conventional school.
Okay.
I ended up writing, I'm sure if you recall, WAEC and GCE.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everybody else does May, June, WAEC. I did not do that. I wrote GCE. And went to the University of Lagos, where I studied journalism, mass comm.
Interesting. So, you went to my school. Okay.
Akoka, it's great.
Yes.
We were there, and it was an interesting couple of years because our vice chancellor then was the late Professor Dillali.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Omoti. So we had an accelerated education in terms of the when Omoti was vice chancellor.
Okay.
And after that, I started working mostly in Nigeria. And last year, 31st of January to be exact, I moved here to Lithuania to sort of set up my business, one
Okay.
of our businesses.
And why did you have to move to Louisiana?
Well, it all came down to the plans that we had. For me, it's trying to set up a business that transcends Nigeria,
Okay.
and just it will give us or give me access to many other markets. And
Okay.
I looked at the different options. You see that most startups tend to register in the US. Even Nigerian startups tend to have their holding companies
The
also
parent
in the
company
US.
in US.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes. So I don't usually follow the same path like everyone. So I decided to go this way. And the Baltics, that's this region, positioning themselves as the future for tech startups, and
Yeah.
we're beginning to see the results already.
In fact, I was reading something in your bio, and it says you like to do different things. Okay. So tell me, what different things have you done within the last 10 years?
Ha.
Yeah,
Well,
I know there's
those
work.
are
Yeah. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
talk.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. In the last 10 years, we're in 2021. So I've done different things.
Yeah.
From when it comes to work, I was privileged to work with an individual that gave me the opportunity to set up about three of his businesses. One in oil and gas, the other pharmaceutical, fast-moving consumer goods, property development. I did most of that. I also assisted in helping setting up his foundation, which focuses on cataract and eye care
Okay.
in different parts of Nigeria. So that was one of the projects I did. Also worked a bit in government, or still do, or I don't even know how to describe it, with the technology village,
Okay.
where up until recently I was tasked with expanding their incubator, their tech incubator, and also add to it a co-working space,
Okay.
which I did in 2019. In between then, for the side hustles, I've tried different things, from trying to set up. I ran a web design and sort of a web agency with one of my co-founders today, where we did a lot of just consultancy work
Yeah.
in Nigeria and advisory, and also done a lot of consulting work, advising businesses on starting up, both in Nigeria, uh, Kenya, and yeah, those two countries in
You
particular.
know, when I listen to you, I see a little bit of myself there in terms of I never really wanted to stick with one thing. I usually drift into something, and then after a while I want to drift to something else and something else. Now, looking back at my banking career, when I was doing that, I discovered that in truth, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. And core banking, somehow internally, I knew that banking was not it for me. Even though I was good at the tasks I was assigned to, and I did them well, but banking was not for me. So I was trying to go here and there just to find something I will be excited to do. Now, I know a lot of people have the same issue, but unfortunately, just like myself, they don't know why they are unhappy or drifting from place to place. Today, I'm a coach, and this is one question I ask people: why are you doing what you are doing? So, seeing you are doing these things, you are doing several things. Either you are just an entrepreneur, okay, interested in doing different things, okay, which a lot of entrepreneurs do, or you are just like I was, not certain exactly what you want to do. So I'll ask you this question: what are your dreams and what drive you in business?
This is a very good question because it's so coincidental because I mentioned this to my wife a few days ago, and I said, you know what, I'm actually living my dream.
Good.
So, to be honest, I more or less I fell into the latter of your description of, you're just trying different things here and there because you have interest. There's something interesting happens, you jump on it and say, okay, let me try that and see what happens, and not really focusing on one thing. And for me, I'm the kind of person who is very curious.
Yeah.
And when it comes to business, everything is so exciting because I can actually
see it,
picture it, and see it, visualize it, and say, okay, this is so amazing. This is very, very possible. And because I had the opportunity of working with different people and helping them set up their businesses, or working for companies where we were setting up businesses, I could actually see these things come to fruition. So that more or less was a driver to trying different things. But I think last year was the first time that I actually sat down to say, okay, hey, you know what? My mentor had always told me this. Mukhtar, he told me that always try and focus.
What do you call his name?
Mukhtar
Bakare. Really?
Bakare, yes.
Hello. You are talking about my friend, my senior colleague. Mukhtar, wow, is a small word. Mukhtar and myself worked in Citigroup together in Lagos.
Oh,
yes.
That's when I met him. I met him just my final year of school, 2000. And,
okay. I was in Citi then.
City. Yeah,
yes.
That your ugly building.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we finally changed it in 08. By then I was in UK.
You can imagine. I mean, Citigroup is a funny bank in Nigeria. In fact, only one branch.
In fact, I'm working with this company. I'm writing a book, and I reached out to him last month that I want them to be my publishers. So in fact, I got an email for one of his assistants. He told me to contact yesterday. I haven't read it. I need to read it. Anyway,
amazing.
Yeah. So see, it's a small word. Yes. It is a small word. Yes. So you were saying something.
Yeah. So Mukhtar always told me that should focus. Just focus on one thing. He pushed and tried to get me to focus, but me being young and headstrong, like yes, I'll agree, then go somewhere else. And so I finally said to myself, okay, you know what? despite all the things, I want to sit down and focus on one thing. And I think the real kick for me was also the support I got from my wife, who also said, "Hey, you know what? Try and see, and try it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work,
You
at
move.
least you tried. Yes, at least you tried."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was one of the key things or key drivers for me that said, okay, do this one thing. And even with people like Mukhtar, and you see everything that he has achieved. One of the things, if there's one takeaway I can give to anyone that I've learned from him, is just that power of focus. Um, Running a business or setting up a business is not easy. There are many down days and a few up days.
Yes.
That's the thing that many people don't know. So they
Yeah.
think that everything is rosy.
Yeah. They
But
see the final result, but they don't see all the trouble entrepreneurs go through to arrive to that final result. Yes.
So for me, it's been a good lesson to say, okay, you know what, put in everything, focus on this one thing, and see where it takes you.
See, I know that technology has been making a lot of things easier by the day. And it's helping people create solutions for problems everywhere. So tell me your story with, how do you call your company again? Dillali. Tell me the story of Dillali.
Okay, so this goes back 5 years now, and because of the work that I did in the past, one of the businesses I ran before was a web design company, and I was a Neoplex, and in Neoplex I had the opportunity of starting out really early as one of the very first web design groups in Nigeria and everything. And I had the opportunity of traveling around the country to do different projects. I remember I used to go to, at that time I didn't have a camera, so I used to go borrow a camera from a lawyer friend of ours. And it used to, many people won't know, but I used to use floppy disks as the camera. So I'll buy like 20 floppy disks, and each disc could take about maybe 6 pictures. Wow. Or something like that. So I had, and the beauty of it was that because of the web design I was doing, there are no such thing as stock images or where to get pictures. So I had to go and take pictures of some of our clients' sites. So I'll travel around the country.
Yeah.
And what I realized then, even after I shut down Neoplex, started the second company, shut it down, started the third company, I interacted a lot with businesses. And I used to write business plans, help people structure their businesses. I saw that there was a huge gap. And one day I went to buy a phone from one of my guys at Banye, Steve, Max Steve. That's the name of his business. And it's just such a nice guy. We just started talking. And while we're talking, I was telling him that, oh, okay, what are the challenges you face as a business? How do you track things? And he was telling me that, he couldn't, not that he had a booklet where he kept records and everything.
Yeah.
But his biggest challenge was that he could not expand because trust is a problem. How do you monitor your staff? He's in Abuja. He knows that there's a huge market in Lagos, but will he drop everything to go and set up in Lagos again?
Yeah.
Who can he trust and things like that? So we started talking, and I was telling him about the idea that, I want to do something like this. And he was like, everybody here will use your service. So
Yeah.
I was like, really? And I got talking to other people on and on like that. And I think I spoke to, apart from the businesses I'd observed, I spoke to more than 30 people that ran their businesses in Nigeria in particular. So that was how I started toying around with the idea. And I did more surveys a few years later. The idea kept with me. You know, this same thing that you talked about earlier, that
Yeah.
you jump to this, jump to that. But this idea kept, it just kept coming back to me. And I ran a few more surveys I did online using Google Forms, and said that, oh, we're launching this. If anyone is interested in signing up early, sign up here. And after 2 days, one person signed up. I still remember my dance from that day, that somebody had signed up, and we had not built anything, not made anything. It was just a form. And at the end of 2 weeks, about 25 people had,
Interesting.
expressed that they wanted to sign up for it. So that was what really pushed me to say, okay, these people have signed up. I need to go and make a product now,
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah. So that's really how it started. And for me, it was like, how do I make it easy? How do we make it easy for businesses to see their bottom line?
Mm.
The biggest problem for an entrepreneur is that most of them don't do accounting. Majority
Yeah.
don't do accounting.
Yeah.
They don't like numbers. But and the second problem I saw was that in Nigeria, a lot of businesses actually run cash flow businesses, not profitable ventures. They keep making money, and the money comes in every day.
Yeah.
But
It
the
goes.
discipline, yeah, I'll spend it on this, spend it on house stuff, this and that, and I don't separate my business from my personal.
Yeah.
How do you see your business? And I felt that this is one of the reasons why there's a high failure rate of businesses uh, in countries like ours. And how do we help these business owners see the bigger picture? Because of interacting with a lot of businesses, because of doing business plans and helping them structure. By the time I finished discussing with the business that, okay, Mr. X, this is your business, this is what you're going to make, this is how much you're going to spend, they usually come out surprised that, oh, I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly. So I said to myself, okay, how can we do this for that small business that is just one person, that is probably making only 2, 3, 4 million naira a year from sales, or even less.
Yeah.
But getting them to imbibe that culture of keeping things in order.
Yeah.
Because if you do things right, your business will grow. And when it grows and you have the right structure, you don't lose, the business doesn't go down,
Yeah.
because of the success that has been gained.
In truth, many of one band SMEs in Nigeria actually make money. But because of this lack of organization, they don't have the opportunity to expand the business. It remains that one band business for 10, 20 years.
Exactly.
It never grows. And I agree with you. One of the main reasons is because they don't keep records. Everything they get, one day they spend the next day. So yeah, that's true. So tell me, you are doing this for SMEs, does your solution allow your customers to use your platform to do their annual accounting, annual tax returns, and other things? How does it work?
Okay, so I'll start with my, let's call it a 30-second description of what Dillali is. Dillali is an income and expense management tool for micro and small businesses, particularly in Africa. It's we're trying to take a mobile first approach so that everything is kept in one place and can be done on the go. More importantly, it's localized to meet the needs of Nigerian and other African business owners.
Okay.
Right now, we are at a very early stage. We just launched the beta version on the 31st of January this year. And what we've been doing is we've been testing and adding new features. We foresee that probably in a year or 2 years' time, businesses should be able to file and do their annual returns
straight from
the system.
Very good. Interesting.
But that is also dependent on the pace at which, let's say, our starting market, Nigeria, how the tax office or the tax authority
agreed for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That's true.
So
that's true.
I understand that there, from our talks with some of our contacts there, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. There's huge technology adoption, especially in the tax office, and they will definitely be moving in the same direction that banking has been moving in Nigeria. And it's only a matter of time when we'll see this kind of open access that will enable us to connect with such platforms.
Yeah.
So at this stage, what we've said is, okay, let's start from the most basic level, which is
income expenditure.
Exactly. How do you even capture those records first? How do you start to build that habit of capturing those records?
Okay.
Next phase for us is, first of all, we're not trying to eliminate the accountant. We're trying to make it easy. So
for the accountant to use the records.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because most things are still done on paper, or some is on paper, the other is on the computer, or the person says, my computer has crashed, I don't have all this. It makes the accountant's work even a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
So having a tool like ours, the accountant can easily access and get all the information in one place and be able to, follow through or complete that whole chart of accounts via our system, or export it to the existing tools that they use.
Yeah.
So we've actually had very good talks with different accountants who explained to us what the challenge was. And the interesting thing is that in Nigeria, the SMEDAN, that is Small and Medium Enterprise Agency or so, in a report said that there are 41 million businesses registered in Nigeria. Now, out of this 41 million, 73% of them are sole proprietorships. Now, how many of these businesses even keep records? Yeah, or do accounting on things like that.
Yeah.
Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio is 6% or
5%.
so.
Okay. I thought I heard 5% yesterday. Yeah, I was discussing it.
Okay. I think it's about 6% now.
Okay.
And compared to the Africa average or European average, you see that ours it's actually one of the lowest in the world.
Yeah.
So the question, it's only a matter of time when the tax net there'll be a rapid expansion of putting everyone under the tax bracket. And again, there are not even enough accountants in Nigeria. Last I checked from chartered accountants, for example, I think we have about 60,000 in Nigeria. or so. So,
I mean, 60,000 chartered accountants.
yes.
See, sorry, I'm gonna talk about something different, okay? But
Yeah.
it's connected with with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm happy that a young man like like yourself and your colleagues decided to do this. See, why did I get interested in what you're doing? I have talked to more than 10 chartered accountants in Nigeria. Many of them do accounting for small and medium enterprises. And I've talked to them in the last 6 years. And I've told them, wait a minute, you know what the issues are for your customers. Now, technology gives you the opportunity to build a solution that will allow your customers keep records and give you as their accountant the opportunity, make things easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've talked to many of them, but none of them had that vision to do this. That's why I ask you if you were a techie person. Okay. Because one story they always give me is that, oh, they're not techie people. I told them, one, I'm not an accountant. Two, I'm not a techie person, but I have the idea. I'm not in your field. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Neither am I in technology, but yet I had the idea. See, one thing I've noticed is that people think just because they're not in a particular space, they should not have ideas, solutions of something that is a problem in that space.
Mm-hmm.
See, you and young people like you are the future of Africa. See, and I want more and more of you guys to come up with solutions. See, you are the future of Africa. People like me, unfortunately, are getting old. Okay, but in as much as we can, we will support anything you guys decide to do.
Oh, I can say this. I truly understand why um, people find difficulty in launching or getting into or building using technology because they don't know tech.
Yeah.
And it can be pretty frustrating. Trust me. There are many times that I've picked up the computer and started going to free code camp and trying to learn how to code out of frustration that I can't get the right people that had challenges getting the right people to work with, or we didn't have enough funds to start.
Yeah.
And hiring a tech person to join the team to build the product, you end up spending a lot.
Yeah.
So it can be quite frustrating.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest shifts for us in Nigeria is that a lot of young people, and in Africa, a lot of young people have started learning how to code.
Yeah.
And access to developers or a developer community is no longer as difficult as before. It's
Yeah.
still difficult, and there's still a lot of room for improvement. So, as someone that is outside technology and you're trying to get into it, sometimes it's quite daunting.
Yes.
It's an uphill
Well,
battle.
see, Ibrahim, I would say this. Yes, it's daunting. Okay. But the bottom line is this: problems are there to be solved. Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how difficult it is. We need to solve them. Okay.
Yes.
And this is my argument to people. We in Africa, many of us complain that why is the West always telling us how to do things? They are telling you how to do things because you refuse to do this yourself. Okay? Yes, it's difficult. That's not in doubt. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
No, it doesn't. I think
Good.
I think the thing is this. One thing I've learned is, and they keep saying it. It may sound like a broken record. Ideas are everywhere.
Yes.
Right. Execution.
Yeah.
Is at the end of the day everything.
Yes.
You see that till tomorrow, some of the people with the best ideas don't have the capacity to execute.
Yep.
And you see people that have some really, I don't want to say foolish ideas, but just not great ideas, but they're excellent at executing. And they succeed.
Ibrahim, just because you have an idea doesn't mean that you are one to execute it. Okay.
Yeah.
First, you have an idea, put it down in writing as best as you can. As best as you can. Okay. Then you need to find someone to share the idea with and polish it. See, it's about collaborations.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're hitting the nail on the head.
You have an idea. No matter how stupid it is, no matter how fantastic it is, the first thing is put it down in writing as best as you can. Okay. So you don't need to be excellent at defining it. Just write it as best as you can. And then put it under your pillow. Okay. When you wake up, maybe something will come into your head, put it down there. Hold it for maybe a month, continue polishing it as best as you can. When you are sure, okay, I don't have any more things to put down there, then you go out and look for someone you can share your idea with. Someone who can help you polish it, okay? Or someone who can show you, say, go to that person, go to Ibrahim. He can look at it and help you polish it. That's how to do it. See, unfortunately, many of us think, I have an idea, I must be the one to execute it. That's the dumbest thoughts pattern that is holding many people down to see their ideas in reality.
Oh, okay. I'll pick on you on this one.
Okay.
I totally agree that collaboration is key.
Yes.
And the second, I don't say the second problem, but the thing that we need to move away from, I can't say the whole of Africa, but I'll use Nigeria, since I'm very familiar with Nigeria
Okay.
is we need to move away from the individualistic
Yes.
standalone type of
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and partnerships are very difficult
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the way we have been, the way our environment has positioned us mentally to
Yes.
think that it must always be
Be me.
you standing up there and
Yeah.
things like that. So one of the things that we need to focus on is how can we foster more collaboration?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How can we build that culture of always working together? I
Yeah.
mean, in the old times, parents, grandparents, great grandparents, everything happened. They say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
It's a very strong statement because
Yeah.
growing up, it's not just, oh, your parents are the ones that raise you. Your neighbor,
No.
your uncle, that person,
Everybody.
they'll just see
Everybody.
you strolling away. Somebody can pull your ear and say,
Yes.
you're doing the wrong thing, and take you home and report you to your parents. This is what I saw. Your parents will thank them.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's the opposite. If you talk to someone's child or try and scold
Correct them.
in quotes, you may end up in court.
Yeah.
And things like that. So we need to focus a lot on collaboration amongst ourselves. Number two, I think one thing that we don't talk enough about is the importance of mentorship
Yeah.
and failure.
Yeah.
So in our society, it's very difficult to fail, because if you fail, you have failed.
Yeah.
It's in fact it's almost like a stigma.
No, you see, it's not only in our society. In the world, failure is looked down hard out. Okay, but you as an entrepreneur, I mean, within this less than 1 hour talk, you told me you started the first business, you closed this, you started a second one, you closed this. See, I listened to you because that's the same thing that has been happening to me for the last 10 years. Okay, I start one, it doesn't work. I start from another one, it doesn't work. I started. See, that is in truth, it is progress.
But we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, we don't. See, everything you start that doesn't work, you learn from it.
Exactly.
And all your knowledge is in you. It doesn't go with the failed project. Okay. So the next project, where you failed in that last one, then you make sure it doesn't happen. That's progress. Okay. Yes, we don't talk about it, and we need to talk about it. Now let's go back to our discussion about your company and what you guys do. So I was asking, I was going to ask you your plan for the rest of Africa. Do you see your solution going into other African markets?
The answer is a big absolute yes.
Okay, very good.
We are already talking with people in different parts of Africa, and or different parts of Africa, and we see some interesting things. One of the things that we've seen is that there's the market may not be, the thing with Africa is that there are some really huge markets, and the rest are almost
just very small. Yeah,
very, very small.
Yes.
So the question is, how can we service these markets in a way that it's all inclusive? So the answer is yes. We are definitely, in the next 12 months, we want to release a second language, French,
okay,
so that we can service the West African markets.
Okay, yeah.
so that's what we're trying to do for our product, and this is one of the reasons why we decided to set up outside Nigeria, because we don't want to be seen as just
Nigeria
Nigerian
centric.
product. Yet, yes, we are Africa centric and also emerging markets. So, but the thing is that always start from home. Start with the market that you're familiar with, and continue to grow through the various collaborations and partnerships that we can get in different parts of the continent. I think particularly what's very interesting and what the next 10 years will be like is, especially with the Africa free trade
zone.
area. Yeah.
In fact, I have a friend who he was supposed to be on the podcast several episode ago, and then he was supposed to be here last week, but when he came to the UK, but he didn't take a leave. So while he was here, he was working all through. So when he was supposed to come to my flat to do his podcast, he couldn't. He was working all day, and now he's gone back to Egypt. In the next few weeks, I will interview him on the podcast, and we will talk about the free zone. It's something, because I also have a little difficulty. I don't want my business to be seen as a Nigerian business. Okay. I want my business to be African centric.
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't registered the business in Nigeria because I want to ask the question about how the African free zone will affect where a business in Africa is registered. That's a very important question for me, and I think for a person like you and so many other African in diaspora. Yeah. So
we're going to see, I think, with the continental free trade area, we're going to see a lot of sort of clusters. So I see Nigeria being the fintech cluster, somewhere like Egypt.
When you think, sorry, if you think
yes,
Africa, Nigeria will be the fintech cluster. What about in Kenya? I thought they also have big fintech presence in there.
Yes, they do. I mean, one of the biggest mobile money solutions, came out of Kenya, M-Pesa. But if you look at, if history serves me right, or if I can remember my history well, M-Pesa started in 2007, and InterSwitch started 2002. So if you look at the trajectory, again, not to downgrade Kenya or anything, when you look at the numbers, to Nigeria is 5 times the size of Kenya in terms of population. So statistically, no matter how you look at it, we may have more, but statistically it may be the same. But what I see is that
absolute number, Nigeria is
in absolute
ahead.
numbers.
Okay.
Of course, Nigeria is ahead. Now we're seeing a lot of growth coming out of Egypt.
Okay.
For example, especially in medtech, in payment solutions, expanding into the Middle East, North Africa region, and logistics. So what I see is that the continental free trade area will lead to certain types of clusters that will happen. And it's also based on the, technology is driven by human capital. What talent do you have access to? And Lagos is just blowing up, in terms of talent, or Nigeria in general is blowing up in terms of talent. Also, other things will cause other types of clusters. Twitter has announced their HQ in
Yeah,
Ghana.
Ghana. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's only logical that a lot of international players or even companies that service or work with Twitter may
We'll
set
go to
up
Ghana
around
just because Twitter is
that
there. Yeah,
area.
that's true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has opened a research facility in, I think, Nigeria and I think Kenya. Rwanda is also looking very interesting. Mauritius, because of policy and stability,
Yeah.
a lot of funds are setting up, investment funds are setting up in that market.
Yeah.
So different markets will have different types of clusters or relevance.
Yeah,
Maybe Abidjan,
that's
maybe
true, and
yes.
I will very much like that to be the case, because I see, like I said, I'm an African centric person, so I want all African countries to grow, and like you mentioned something earlier, some African countries are just small, so I'm hoping that our governments would think about how to manage those small markets to allow, so that because now look at your dilemma. You don't want to invest too much time and energy and money in a small market where maybe your investment will not pan out. Okay. And that kind of a decision will limit those countries from getting the best services just because they don't have enough population to
Well, yeah, but you see, the thing is that if, and I pray when the continental free trade area
yeah,
kicks off properly
yes,
in Africa, then the size or your borders won't matter
once
because it's
that is
exactly
stable.
yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I can say, okay, you know what? I'm servicing the Nigerian market, but I want to be headquartered in Kigali,
Yeah.
for example, because of the free movement. You can easily and that's the beauty of places like the EU.
Yeah.
You know, it's a 28 country market.
Unfortunately, my country has left the EU.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. You're still trying to, yeah. It's sadly for Brexit,
Yeah.
but you see, the thing is that because of having that free movement, it allows for trade to flow
Yes.
easily.
Yes.
And the thing is that in Africa we don't trade among each other.
That's the biggest.
Exactly.
See, when I think about it, a continent of 1.2 billion people. If only we have been trading with each other, the continent would have grown internally, even without external business. So it's very important. It is very, very important that we need to trade with each other. And to make that happen, we need to build transport links.
Yeah.
See,
Logistics.
and
Logistics.
that means what I see coming is trade between countries. See, in truth, we don't need to. Well, we need flights, but for me, we need to build a global train routes within Africa, and to be interesting.
Very, very important. I think one of the most interesting things is that, pardon my bias, but technology has started increasing trade,
Yeah.
or building those networks. So when you look at payment solutions now, it's getting to the point where I'll be able to transact with someone in Kenya, and the money will arrive in my account in Nigeria seamlessly. I mean,
Yeah.
real time. And by the time all these how technology is sitting and creating that connection, it's the same way infrastructure will flow
Yeah.
in those directions. So,
Yeah.
for example, we may see that, okay, a country like Senegal may be doing more business with maybe Congo, Kinshasa, and they will now prioritize and say, okay, this is a priority. Maybe it's a sea route we need to take and improve our ports and movement. DRC maybe trading more with Angola, or maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
Cameroon. It connects there, and
Yeah.
we start to build the
Well,
network.
the bottom line is that Africa needs to build infrastructure to help businesses grow. Now, SMEs, most SMEs are mostly one man businesses. And secondly, most owners are not educated people. Yeah, you agree with that? Good.
I disagree with educated, but no problem.
Well, see,
It depends on your definition of education.
well, okay. let me go down to the bottom. My community is Bariga, Lagos. Okay, most one-man business owners in Bariga and Shomolu are uneducated mothers.
Uneducated mothers.
Yes.
Okay.
And the mechanic in front of my house, the panebita in front of my house, they are not educated. Okay. So I'm not telling you what somebody says to me. I'm telling you the kind of people I interact with on a daily basis in my community in Bariga. In fact, I will increase the percentage. 90% of SME owners are uneducated in that space.
I'll argue with you on that.
Okay. Let me ask the question. The question is that how do you want to engage these people with your product?
Beautiful question. The same woman in Bariga and the same mechanic you're talking about, they may be uneducated.
Yeah.
In terms of reading and writing.
Yes. Yeah. Schooling.
Things
Yes.
like that. In schooling, right? But they're probably more educated in business.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's true. That's it.
So that is established. You cannot. I'm telling you, someone with a professorial degree from Harvard will come to Bariga and he will fail. 100%.
Okay.
Right? The woman selling
Ekpa.
Boli or Ekpa will school that guy. She will school that professor.
Very possible.
He or she.
Yeah.
And those ones will learn so much, they'll go back with their tail in between their legs, go back to the same Harvard and realize that, oh boy, I no go school. However, what we need to ask ourselves is, how do we... It's not for them to conform to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
How we can conform or use technology to address their needs.
Yeah.
So for us, we've seen that they're not our immediate markets,
okay,
but they are our long-term intended markets.
Okay.
Which is, okay, technology will keep improving. How can this person speak their local language. Most of them have smartphones today.
Yeah.
They can speak their local language to the device.
Yeah.
I have made
okay.
this.
So
Put it inside.
So see
record
that's the question I was asking to know if you guys are thinking about those long-term solutions. Very
of
good.
course,
Very
because that's our ethos. That's what we stand for.
good.
Our goal is how can we help businesses, business owners build businesses that outlast them, that passes from one generation to the other.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the more developed markets, and I'm not talking about the West, I'll pick a market that's closer to us, which is probably Asia.
Okay.
You find out that there's a family business or a skill that is passed down from one to the next.
Generation to the other. Yeah.
And that is how they become specialists.
Yes.
That they're so good at something that they now become an exclusive or a specific type of trade that you must go to them. Just like how my dad used to tell me then that there's this tailor in Hong Kong. You go to sew a suit. Tailored, the real definition of tailored.
Yeah.
And the real definition of bespoke. That you give them, you go 24 hours, you come back, you have your suit. And that suit will last you the next 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, that is skill, right? And that is not something that you learn
on the road.
5 years.
Nah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's passed down from generation to the next.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. But addressing it from our local perspectives and not just, because it's done here, it should be done exactly this way. We need to find ways, like for us, it's even redefining finance, it's redefining accounting, it's redefining reporting, because they say, you must have ledger, this and that and that. The only thing the person understands is, I've made this.
Yeah.
Collected.
I bought this. I bought this. I sold this.
Let the computer do all the rest.
Yeah.
And do all those calculations to make it easy for them, so that they can see and focus on
what
their business.
Yeah. Very good.
These are the things that
very
we believe in.
In today's world, there is a lot of need for data protection. Okay. Now, when it comes to money, it's even a bigger need to protect your customers' data. So, what are you guys doing about that?
This is a question that data protection is something that's kept us our eyes open at night at times. Like my co-founders and I company, we're currently in an accelerator program.
Okay.
In Estonia, the Startup Wise guys, and we had a session on data protection.
Yeah.
And by the time we went through, not one session, I think we've had like 2 or 3 sessions on data protection, where we've sat down with data protection experts to explain even the European data protection laws, the GDPR. Yeah. And it's something that we're not only mindful of, but we're already practicing.
Okay.
So, for example, there are certain, processes for data protection and things like that we have to adhere to. So we've done our best to adhere to all those data protection requirements.
Yeah.
We're still tweaking and addressing. Also, recently, Nigeria signed the NDPR, the Nigeria Data Protection Act.
Okay.
Or by NITDA, which also applies to every Nigerian, whether you're at home or abroad, as long as you're in Nigeria.
I need to learn that.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we are working towards adding that to our platform. It's the same thing with the European data protection
Yeah.
laws, same principles. So we take and value our customers' data very, very highly.
Very good.
We don't joke with that.
Very good.
So it's properly backed up, properly encrypted. As we continue to grow, we're already talking to other third-party providers to improve encryption
Good.
so that data is not breached
Good.
at all.
And I'm happy you guys are doing some training with Estonia. I think Estonia is one of the countries that use that in Europe uses they put everybody's information online. I mean,
Yes,
when I
it's
learned
e-society.
about that, I was amazed. You know,
It's crazy. I mean, we registered our company in Estonia, and the lawyer was like, "Oh, okay, let's meet online and go through everything." And she was like, "Oh, okay, log in here, put in this, put in that," and I was just typing it. Okay, updates is like how you do your registration of your company in the UK. It's easy in the UK, but
Yeah.
somewhere like Nigeria too is getting easier. And after I signed it, used electronic signature, I mean, EID,
Yeah.
signed, I was done in 20 minutes. An hour later, I received confirmation that, oh, okay, your company is under processing, ready to be registered. 6 hours later, I got my company registration number. The next day, they sent email, your VAT has been set up. I was like, how? You know? It was so seamless that it was scary. I know that countries like Nigeria, they've actually improved a lot, especially with company registration. You can do almost everything online now.
Interesting. That's good.
Like the funniest one was the VAT when I was filing for tax identification number for our company. We just went to the FIRS, that's the tax portal,
Yeah.
filled our company information, sent SMS. After a few hours, we got the tax identification number without going to their office, to the tax office. So we're seeing these adoptions, but Estonia is they've mastered it.
That's good. That's good. That's
they're
good.
really way ahead.
That's good. Hopefully, everything will go well. Okay.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Yes. What do you envision for Africa in the next 20 to 30 years? What kind of Africa do you want to see?
We want to see a level playing field for Africans and Africa. By that I mean how can an African business or every African be competitive with anyone anywhere in the world,
Okay.
and be able to match and surpass what anyone anywhere in the world in any advanced society is doing.
Okay.
That's the Africa that we want to see in the future. It probably will take a longer time, but we want to see, and I want to see an Africa that is far more advanced, far more independent, far more integrated, and universal in terms of thinking and eliminating, at least removing the mentally removing the borders from around us and seeing us as one. I think that's the Africa I want to see. I want to see a highly educated Africa, and by education I mean all kinds of education, not just read and
not
write,
just book.
Yes, and an Africa where it starts to produce and develop everything from medicine to everything, the light bulb to the smallest of things, the microchip, us being able to make all these things on the continent.
We have the capacity. Okay.
Yes.
We need to build the Africa that is able to do all those things. And I believe that with people like you, with more people like you, we will get there.
By the grace of God, we have our sights on making the right impact and doing the right thing. I think one of the best things that has happened to me is that we've opened up our minds and said, okay, let's find the right people to work with, no matter where they are in the world, as long as we believe in the same vision and have the same drive. And I think most of what we've been able to achieve in the last 1 year has been because of the support system that I have, my co-founders, who are Stefan and Pooja, and just generally, people like the accelerator and all the other mentors and silent mentors that have been pushing us. And I believe that if more young people are able to find these mentors and these support systems early on to keep them focused, I think there's a lot that we can achieve as a continent.
Very good, very good. Ibrahim, thank you for being here with me. Guys, Ibrahim, this is Ibrahim Bashir. He has the CEO and co-founder of Dillali. Ibrahim, thank you very much.
Listen or watch more episodes of Think Big for Africa podcast with new guests every week. Subscribe to ensure that you are notified whenever new episodes are available.